And hello, everyone. This is Fourth and Goal, the short show where we just talk about everything that's going on in the NBA, NFL, all the sports that have to do with Prairie View. And yeah, so we're just going to get right into this and just go around the panel and just start introducing ourselves.
Well, I guess I'm going to go. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Andre Williams from Dallas, Texas, the 214.
I was good with y'all. I'm Drew Brewer from Los Angeles, California.
Erica? Okay, we'll just get back to it with her. But so I wanted to start off with this first topic, with this first question. So as we all know, if you watch NBA basketball, LeBron is injured. It's something that never really happened with his career. He's always been someone who's always been out on the floor. He's not one to do with load management or anything like that. He plays every single game, every single year. That's just how it is. But right now he's out for the Lakers with an injury, and so I just want to ask y'all, how does this affect the Lakers and their chances of winning an NBA title?
I would start that off. I don't know if y'all see, I got the big Lakers in the back, so I gotta rep my team. That's my team. But we ain't too much worried about it. LeBron being lost, that's a big deal that we got to deal with. But at the end of the day, we just got signed Andre Drummond. That's another big man. And Anthony Davis going to be coming up in the next week or two. So I feel like our chances right now is kind of slim a little bit just with the injuries. But at the same time, we always waiting for that finals. It's really that championship that we waiting for. So that's what we ready to go.
Yeah, that's cool and all. It's nice to have a pipe dream and everything, but
wow, he talking about pipe.
Basically, with the Lakers, that whole thing is they like to choose their one star that they like to pick out, and basically, I don't want to say make them do all the work, but make them do all the work. Now you got LeBron, he's gone. Anthony Davis, he's gone for now. Like you said, maybe when he comes back, he could do stuff. But Aaron Kobe, he's gone as well, and that was their main guy that they like to pass it to. So their issue is, I feel like without their main celebrities and stuff, they need to be more aggressive when they making their plays, because now you got to pass the ball to everybody. Now we got to show the people who's there now, you got to show what they're able to do. Because before, they like to rely on their main people, and they haven't. Now that they're gone, you got to see, what are you on the team for?
Yeah, I definitely feel as if for all the guys that were behind, I kind of feel like this is a bit of a step up for that Lakers squad without LeBron, without AD. This is really a show up and show out. This is really the moment where guys like Alex Caruso, Montrezl Harrell, guys like Kyle Kuzma, this is their moment to show up and show out. Without LeBron, what does this team look like? This is what they have to do. They have to say that even without LeBron, even without AD, we can still win games. And at this point, they're managing to hold afloat. Barely, but it's just to the point where you have to. You got to win games. And if the Lakers can manage to win games, I think they're at a really good point. But if they continue at the pace where they're going, I think they're 4-6 of their last 10 games. That's not going to win championships. Right now they're barely holding on to the fourth seed, third seed, and the Nuggets and the Portland Trailblazers, they're right behind them. So it's kind of even when AD, if he does show up in the next 1 to 2 weeks, what does that really do? You just got to make sure that everything is staying afloat. And with the Lakers, they're just barely holding tight.
I'll be real with you, Drew. I'm sorry, to be fair, the Lakers stats without LeBron ain't that far off. I'm sorry. I'm being my boy. I think what the Lakers need to do is they need to go ahead and take this L for this season right now.
Take the L.
who are because you know they not going all the way. We already see that that's not happening. I mean, like I said, it's nice to have pride in your team and stuff like that. Hey, I'm from Dallas, but I'm not expecting the Mavericks to go all the way.
You know, I'm just gonna say this. The Wi-Fi kind of messed up, so I just know y'all try to talk mess about my team. Like, nah, we good. I understand. Yes, LeBron gone, AD gone for right now, but them boys got this. Okay, now I ain't gonna lie. I've been looking at their schedule. Next couple games is kind of tough. That's the league though. We in the Western Conference, the toughest league in the NBA. You know, the East got what they got going on and everything, but I feel that, you know, as long as we keep it together, them boys is able to play each other, because even without LeBron, they have that team chemistry. Now, yeah, we've had a lot of trades coming in and out, but one thing that's great about the Lakers is our team chemistry is always great. So I think just for right now, you know, it's a little bummed out because people is expecting the stars to do their thing. But this is that moment, like y'all said, for people to show up and show out. We still got Caruso, bald-headed wonder. You know, that's the white mamba. He really be putting in that work. And so we got other guys like that. We just don't lose faith in the team. I want to hear this conversation when we come back during finals, and I guarantee you we have a different perspective every week.
Okay, so I'll just leave it there because if we keep on going, then we're just going to be going back and forth. But I kind of want to switch gears over to the Nets. The Nets, I don't know what they did during this whole free agency, but they got Griffin, they got Blake Griffin, and they've added LaMarcus Aldridge on top of already having traded for Harden. And they have KD and they have Kyrie. And honestly, right there, I know that looking back, like to the '90s, whenever Michael Jordan was facing off against the Monstars, that is a Monstars level team right there. Like, how are you going to beat them? So I just want to ask, like, who in the NBA right now can actually compete against them? Anyone want to take it?
I'm sorry. Can you hear this sound? Can you say that one more time?
So my question was, with a team like that comprises KD, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, LaMarcus Aldridge, Blake Griffin, who is going to beat them in the playoffs?
I think just because they got all the people, they can't lose.
Right.
You still got to worry about the Sixers.
Well, they're right now. I mean, they are the team to beat. I mean, how are you going to beat them? I mean, they've just added star power to their roster. Like, they've gotten rid of players in order to get James Harden, but I mean, I kind of look at it in the way that they haven't really dropped players off in the way to get these players. They didn't have to do anything to get LaMarcus Aldridge. They didn't have to drop anyone to get LaMarcus Aldridge, and have to drop anyone to get Blake Griffin. Those guys right there, even though you could say that they're washed up or they're not the same, those are still talented NBA basketball players. And when it comes towards playoff time, they are going to have their moments. And it's like they are still guys who can produce something for your team. Like, say that they you need a spark or something like that. They that these are guys who can pull something off of their hat. So it's kind of like, that's what I mean to say. Like who do you think that could beat them? I know that there are teams that could, but who honestly stands a chance right now in beating the Nets if they go all the way?
The Sixers, the Lakers, the Clippers, the Jazz.
Okay, if we talk about
the Suns in there, maybe.
If you're talking about in theory, yeah, obviously, like, anybody could beat them, because I mean anybody could win. But like you kind of said, it's kind of like a powerhouse team. And unlike the Lakers, you know, they have multiple powerhouse players who's used to being in the forefront, who's used to making them plays. So it's going to be way harder for a team like the Lakers to try to defeat the Knicks. But again, you know, shout out to you, Drew. Nice to dream on that. I'm gonna be on you, bro. Them Lakers, I'm on your side. I got you.
All I'm gonna say is, you feel me? That's cool. I appreciate the love, because you know we Laker fans. We appreciate the hate, because at one point everybody hated us until LeBron came. Now everybody want to be a Laker fan. Y'all wasn't with us through the mud when we was getting beaten every single season, and Kobe left, and we was just one of the worst teams. It's all good. But what I gotta say with the Nets, that is just, at this point, the NBA cheating. NBA been cheating. They've been cheating with these super teams. Like, it's nothing new. We've had super teams in the 80s. We've had super teams in the 90s. At this point, they're going a little bit overboard. LaMarcus Aldridge, he old. What is he really going to do? I don't know. I mean, we ain't seen him in that aspect in a minute. We'll go from there. James Harden, you know, you got to fear the beard. Not even going to lie. Like, you have to. That man is deadly from the three-point line. That man is deadly, period. Kyrie is a deadly asset on the court, too. I can get over his emotional problems and just really be able to take it into what he's doing and just relax and be there for the team. They can do some things. KD, I ain't got nothing to say about KD. KD led the Warriors to the finals. He was the best player on the Warriors. Without him, they wouldn't have made it that far. And we had seen when they played the Raptors in the finals without KD that it wasn't that much of a competition. So Blake Griffin, I believe that he should have been out of Detroit. He was the best player in Detroit. He wasn't getting no help. They got Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant was helping him out a little bit, but even then, like, Blake Griffin has always played on a team and always elevated that team. And if he ain't elevating the Detroit Pistons, I mean, what you think? I mean, at the end of the day, they got to pass the ball. All of these stars, they all got to pass the ball. And you got two of the most ball-hogging people, Kyrie and James Harden. If them boys learn how to pass the ball and communicate, like we said, it's still the second half of the season. We haven't gotten to the finals yet. And the finals is what really matters. That's when you really see how people play. At this point, people trying to get their little lanes in. They trying to make it way to it. But if they don't do well in the finals, I mean, Paul George and the Clippers, look at them. Team is stacked. Everybody thought they was going to make it. And what happened? Blew a 3-1 lead. Things happen, gentlemen, ladies. It happens. It's the NBA, the sports world. Anything can happen. We don't know what's going to happen, but what I do know, this is going to be a very interesting rest of the season all the way up to the finals.
No doubt, no doubt. So I guess I would just say to that, anything can happen. And so on that note, we'll be going to a commercial break. Coming up next, we will be going over all the PV sports. And then afterwards, we'll be interviewing the one, the only, Jamal Woat. All that and more coming up next.
Prairie View A&M University is about the students. Students don't just come here for the education. They come for the faculty, for the creativity, the camaraderie, an excellent standard of living, and the school spirit. They come here to gain something profound and to give something back. Students come for the tradition of excellence. This is Prairie View A&M University. Our tradition, your opportunity.
Traditions are not made overnight. They are created through a legacy of excellence and a commitment to something much greater. For more than 135 years, Prairie View A&M University has provided students with a strong academic foundation, a unique college experience, and the opportunity to make their mark on the world. This is a place where friendships are formed, discoveries are made, and dreams are realized. This is Prairie View A&M University. Our tradition, your opportunity.
And we are back here on Fourth and Goal. So we said that we'd be talking about all the things to do with Prairie View sports. And so one of the things that I just wanted to bring up is that recently Prairie View football team, they've decided to cancel their season. So I just wanted to see what you would have to say about that.
I don't know. It's a little. I don't know exactly the reason why. I mean, obviously COVID, but when I just look at a lot of these other HBCUs out there and seeing that they having their games, no issue. Granted, it's not like they going to away, but I mean, at least they still doing it at their home stadiums, and I feel like we should be doing the same thing. But then at the same time, who really goes to the football games for the football team anyway? We know what we go for. No offense, by the way.
None taken. Erica, you want to chime in here?
I feel like for the football team being in SWAC and other SWAC teams are playing as well, our team should be taking more precautions due to the fact that why our other football teams are still playing, they haven't been on quarantine as well. So, and our team just got off quarantine, and now they're saying whether the season is canceled or whether it's still in. I feel like they should be taking more precautions too. And as me being an athlete myself, and we're still having a season and we haven't been set on quarantine since 2020, there's something wrong, because you guys need to put more restriction on the football team if they keep having to go back and forth to quarantine. People keep catching COVID when other football teams are perfectly fine. So they must like their season a little bit better, maybe.
Yeah. Drew, you have anything to say about this?
What I gotta say with that is pretty much, I mean, I feel like they kind of screwed them boys over a little bit. They was already doing pretty good. They won the first 2 games. The morale was high. Everybody was having a good time. Everything was cool. And then out of nowhere, y'all cut them boys off and then say y'all can't play no more. I feel that, I mean, if that was the case, all these sports shouldn't be playing. But I'm pretty sure they're taking the safety precautions of everything of every single day. I mean, we still in COVID. It's sad to say. I mean, I don't know when it's going to be over. It don't look like it's going to be over anytime soon. But people still got things to do. Still, them boys came over here for a scholarship in football. Can't take that away from them. Let them boys play. That's all I got to say about that. Like, just let the boys play. If they want to play, just be careful with them.
Right, and I feel as if they're probably, they're still trying to figure out whether they're going to have a season or if they're not going to have a season. Like today, they just had the pro day. A lot of families were out here for a lot of alumni came back as well for the pro day to show what they have in order to the NFL. I know a lot of players were participating in that as well. So, and being in the athletic building all the time, a lot of players still come out here, still running routes on the field and still training in the weight room. So, they might bring them back. It's not completely canceled, especially if we're the only team in SWAC will be the only team that is canceled. So there's a possibility we might still have a season.
I got a question. So do we know why that we got our games cut off? Because again, like we said, other schools in the SWAC, they've been playing our games. So it's like clearly it has something to do with us specifically.
We just keep getting put on quarantine. We just keep getting put on quarantine.
I have no clue.
So is this like a lot of players getting sick or something like that, or?
Once one player catches COVID, everything stops. Once one person catches COVID, everything stops. Well, at least for the football team, because it's more contact. If it's a less contact sport, it's more so you and whoever you were around goes on quarantine instead of the whole team. But for a more contact sport, if one person catches COVID, you all have to go on quarantine.
The situation with the basketball team where they had ended up canceling, I think, a game or two because of some COVID restrictions. I mean, they didn't cancel the boys' whole season. At least if I would imagine that they would cancel that one game or two, just let them boys rest up, just do the social distancing and everything. That probably would have helped out and they could have continued their season. But still, at the same time, I mean, y'all didn't let them play already, so it's like no point in them
That
really
might be an
saying.
issue because for what you're saying, basketball has way more games than football has. So football only has 6 games versus the basketball team have plenty of games. So they still had a longer season versus the football team.
Yeah, just overall a terrible sort of situation to be in because they did start off the season, as you said, they won their first 2 games, and then they're not even able to continue out the rest of their season because they've had to wait pretty much not even a whole year. They've had to wait a year and a half because the last time that they were able to play was in fall of 2019, and then they've been waiting for this opportunity. Now it's spring of 2021 to play the first 2 games. Boom, COVID hits, and now they're not even able to finish. So it's just overall a terrible situation that our men's football team was in. But on to a brighter topic is that the women's bowling, they have been advancing, and they are at the NCAA bowling tournament, and they'll be facing off against NCAT in the first round. So I just wanted to say congratulations to all the women, all the players that were involved with that, because you definitely know that anytime you're able to win an accomplishment and just win a title like that is already an accomplishment on its own. And the fact that it's like during COVID is just another thing. And I think something else that other people may not know is that last year, so they won the SWAC regular season title, they won the SWAC tournament title, and then they're getting ready for the NCAA tournament. And then it's around that time last year that COVID happened and that everything stopped. They weren't able to play in the tournament, and then they managed to like run it back this year, and now they're being able to play. So I think that's just an amazing accomplishment to just come back with the same attitude and just do it again. So I think that's very admirable. I think women's softball, they're doing pretty good, right?
Women's softball is right now in the mid-season. I do not know their record right now, but I know they're in the mid-season. And I think as of right now, they're doing pretty good. I know soccer, women's soccer, also they have their SWAC championships next week. I know their competition was usually University of Howard, or Howard University, I'm sorry. But Howard forfeited their season this year due to COVID, so they might have another SWAC championship under their belt coming up.
We will be having a SWAC champion, and Jamal will be on the show. We'll be interviewing him and seeing what's up. And all that and more coming up next after the break. And we are back here on 4th and Goal. We have with us today someone who is a star runner for the Prairie View track and field team. He is a distance runner, and he is here today. And yeah, Jamal, how are you doing? Say that again.
I said I'm good. How you guys doing?
Good. So, with my first question, I just wanted to ask you, how are you feeling so far in the season?
As of right now, the season's not going too great, but working on it. We're working on it to make it better. You know, a long way to go, but yeah, no, it's not great.
Yeah. So, what are just some of your goals for the outdoor season?
So my goal was me and coach talked about it a little bit. We're trying to run a little bit faster time so we can go to regionals to compete at a higher level. But recently we got shut down due to COVID, and I'm just coming back from that. I came back from that 5 days ago, and the shape I was in before the COVID is not the same shape I'm in right now. So we gotta readjust and then go from here and see where it takes us.
Jamal, for some of us who don't know, what are your events? What are you doing?
So I'm a distance runner, which means so I run 3 times a year without COVID. So we have cross country, indoor, and outdoor. So right now we are in outdoor. So I run the distance I run 10K, 1500, and then that's pretty much it.
Cool, nice. Drew, Andre, y'all have any questions for Jamal?
Yeah, I got a question. So, you said on that note, you're a distance runner. So, like, I heard you had the quarantine for 10 days. So, how did that affect your distance running?
So as a distance runner, every day is important. Like you can't take a day off. You can take a day off, but like more than 3 days, taking 3 days off from a distance is basically going backward. It's like it feels like a new sport because as a distance runner, you have to run consistently every day. Not at speed. You gotta keep your endurance up every day. So it's hard to just take 10 days off and then jump right back into it.
Yeah, Andre.
Yeah. Okay, you can hear me. I was just wondering, how was it like setting the SWAC record for the 5K and the 3K?
Being the greatest. He's the great.
It felt good. It was I was a little bit surprised, but we put in work. Me and coach and my teammates, we put in a lot of work. So when we get a chance like that, we can perform at our best level, and it was great. Not gonna lie, it felt good to break records, win some meets.
Yeah, and I guess this would be one of the last questions that we have. But I just wanted to ask you personally, how much would it mean for you? And you won, individual medals. You won your gold in the 5K, the 3K, the mile. But how much would it mean to you personally if this outdoor season you're able to win the team title?
Oh, that's the ultimate goal right there. Like one of my goals before I graduate is to get that team title, and it would be amazing because watching the girls win, it was fun, and like I enjoyed their victory, and I wish we could have done it at the same time, but no, we gotta follow the lead and get one for ourselves. That's the ultimate. Individual goal don't really mean nothing. I mean, it means a lot. It just means you put a lot of work, but like that team title is the whole reason I'm here. I need that team title before I graduate. That ring means more than the medals.
Yes, it's all right. We're
Yes,
all, we're all
sir.
bringing it
Yes,
home
sir.
for outdoor, for sure.
Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much for your time, for allowing us to interview you. And we wish you the best of luck for outdoor season.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Okay. So that pretty much wraps 4th and Goal for this week. But if you do have any comments, questions, or anything on this video, just remember to leave them down in the description box or whatever below, and we'll be very happy to share your comments and questions and anything else. Anybody else want to say something before we go off?
Shout out to everybody who came into our little stream. So, it's very appreciated.
Yes, sir. Well, if that's anything that everybody has to say, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching us live, and we will see you on next week. Bye.